Hey up, Rayvers. Another request this week, this time from Brad on the old Twitter machine. And Brad would like me to review the Cannonball Run II! Cannonball Run II. Now, Cannonball Run II is a sequel to the popular Cannonball Run, which I think I've seen. I remember enjoying it, but never seen Cannonball Run II. Now, for the uninitiated, if I remember it right, the Cannonball Run is a car race from one side of the States to the other side of the States, with a big cash prize for the winner. Any road, the film starts and it's straight away, there's a car chase and you're thinking, blooming heck, we're right in the middle of the Cannonball Run. Straight into it, no messing about. But it soon transpires it weren't the Cannonball Run, it was just these two women driving around in their anarchised jumpsuits, making plonkers of the police. Yeah, they're just taking Mickey out on them, toying with them. In fact, the police are fairly useless in this film. They're just inept bystanders, powerless to stop the cannonballers, because the cars ain't very good and the driving's crap. Anyway, the anarchists cleverly have a quick change of the colour of the car. So you think, oh, alright, yeah, the police ain't going to find them now. And then they proceed to just speed right past the police straight away again. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, hold up. Did that say what I thought it said? Bobby Bersoni's orangutan. Bloody hell. Them jumpsuits ain't very practical for a pit stop, are they? You couldn't just pop off for a quick wait, could you? It'd be a bloody military operation getting them off. Maybe they're wearing nappies. Anyway, we then move to an airfield, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is a Cannonball Run. They're doing it with planes in this film to make it different. But no, this ain't the Cannonball Run either. But this is where we meet up with the star, Burt Reynolds, and his sidekick, Dom DeLuise. Now, looking at him, I reckon he's been on the Grecian 2000 now, because he must be pushing 50 at least in this film. Not a single grey hair in sight. It looks unnatural though, doesn't it? For a man of his age. Don't look right. And then I remembered that the Dom DeLuise character has got this alter ego, Captain Chaos, who presumably is supposed to be a little bit of comic relief from the comedy. But I remembered I found him bloody irritating in the first film. Didn't find him funny at all. Burt Reynolds though did find him funny. He was chuckling away at him. Burt Reynolds' laugh in this film, very odd. Makes lots of strange noises. It sounded like a hysterical loon at times. But the beauty of these Cannonball Run films is that they ain't just a vehicle for Burt Reynolds. No, they've got an all-star cast in them. And next up we see Sammy Davis Jr, who once were fortunate enough to perform with Sir Bruce Forsyth, and his mate Dean Martin. Although this bit doesn't sit well with me. You can tell this film's written by a bloke, because Dean Martin here is with this young girl who must be in her 20s. And he's mid-60s by this point, isn't he? Bloody hell, look at him. Reminded me of On the Buses, where these seedy middle-aged bus drivers and bus conductors were somehow able to pull attractive dolly birds in their 20s because the scriptwriter said they could. And then we see Jackie Chan and Jaws Richard Kiel in their high-tech car being dropped from an aeroplane. And I thought, this must be the Cannonball Run now, because we're quite a way into the film. This must be the Cannonball Run. But it weren't. It still weren't the Cannonball Run. But there's plenty of other famous folk in this as well. Shirley MacLaine and the woman from Taxi are in it. Also from Taxi, you got Tony Danza, who, as far as I can gather, is the carer for America's answer to Jack Douglas. And they've got a car driven by an orangutan. Oh, and it must be Bobby Bersoni's orangutan. And the orangutan, he assaults people. Oh, he's good for a giggle, isn't he? A violent ape. And also, you got Klinger from MASH in it, who plays a sheikh, who's bankrolling the whole thing, providing the prize money, and yet for some reason is competing in it, and all. Don't ask me why. And that bloke, that's Doug McClure. I don't know why he's in this. He doesn't do a lot. He's just the butt of the jokes in this film. But he were a leading man in the 70s. He did all them fantasy films, like The Land That Time Forgot and Warlords of Atlantis and At the Earth's Core, that sort of thing. Now, one of the interesting things about Doug McClure's films in the 1970s is that superficially, they look like really exciting films. You know, he's stuck on an island with dinosaurs. Or he's fighting sea monsters. Or he's wrestling with a man-eating plant. Yet despite their exciting premise, invariably, they're a bit boring. But paradoxically, the posters for these films are fantastic. I'm a big fan of movie posters, and if you saw the poster for these films, you'd think, bloody hell, that looks good. I want to watch it. Look at this one for Land That Time Forgot. It just looks fantastic. It's got everything on it. It's got an exploding volcano. It's got dinosaurs. It's got a submarine. It's got folk in peril. It's got Susan Penhaligon's knockers. What's not to love? It's a shame that the film was nowhere near as good as the poster. Now, I'll tell you another film with a cracking poster, and that's the Cannonball Run II. Look at this for a poster. It's absolutely fabulous. And this poster makes it look like a film I really want to go and see. Look at it. You've got monster trucks and cars bursting out at poster. You've got all the characters pulling funny faces. You've got the attractive ladies in their Anachronized jumpsuits. And the artist has seemingly done the impossible by making the pictures of the actors look more alive than the actors. They're so full of life, these pictures. I think the artist is superb. What a brilliant poster. But similar to Doug McClure's movies, this movie were not living up to the poster. It were halfway through the film before the blooming Cannonball Run actually started. And there weren't actually a whole lot of car chasing in it. Occasionally they get stopped by the police. Well, there's Bobby Bursaw in his orangutan again. And he's hitting people again. Not quite as funny as the first time, but yeah. And then the most bizarre bit is that they go and visit Frank Sinatra for some reason. And I always find this a bit daft in films, where somebody's playing the sense. Because surely he'd just look at Sammy Davis Jr and Dean Martin and go, oh, you two look like Sammy Davis Jr and Dean Martin. But obviously in this weird universe they don't exist. It was like that bit what they did in Ocean's 12, where suddenly they decided that one of the characters looked like Julia Roberts. Well, of course she did. She was played by sodding Julia Roberts. At no point did she say, well, never mind that I look like Julia Roberts, you look like Matt Damon. I don't get it. Stupid plot device. I hate it when films do that. And talking of stupid plot devices, they did that thing where a bunch of blokes dressed up as women, and despite being massive and hairy, nobody seems to realise that they're blokes. Now, that works in a carry-on film, because that's set in a ludicrous universe. But when it's set in a universe that's supposed to be realistic, it's just bloody stupid. Yeah, they've got Jackie Chan in it, who I absolutely love. I think he's brilliant, Jackie Chan. And they don't do any of the brilliant Jackie Chan stuff what he does. He just does some half-assed karate on some blokes instead of all the innovative fighting he normally does. Very disappointing. God, there's that blooming orangutan again, hitting people. I mean, that joke has got old very quickly, ain't it? Blooming heck. Any road, on to Ray's ratings. Now, I weren't expecting a massive amount from this film. It passed me by when it were out at the cinema. Never seen it on video, and there's often a reason for that, you know. But it did have an all-star cast in it, so I were expecting at least a 2-star film. But I always have a peek at a poster before I watch a film. And this poster looks so fantastic that it took my expectation rating to 3 stars. Now, unfortunately, it did not live up to expectations. It were crap. So I'm rating Cannonball Run II as a 1-star, 3-star film. Yeah, sorry Brad, I hope it weren't one of your favourites, but yeah, it were crap, But that is part of service, Rayvers, isn't it? You know, I watch these crap films, so you don't have to. But Cannonball Run 2 did not have many redeeming features, I'm afraid. Even the jokes with Bobby Bursaw and his orangutan got very tired by the end of it. They really were milking Bobby Bursaw and his orangutan. I don't mean they were milking Bobby Bursaw and his orangutan. Can you milk an orangutan? Now that'd have been funny, wouldn't it? Burt Reynolds trying to milk Bobby Bersoyne's orangutan. I'd pay good money to watch that. Crikey, can you imagine what the poster would have looked like for that? Well, even though the film was crap, hopefully you enjoyed the review. And if you did, poke the like button. Poke it! And share it with your mates. And subscribe to the channel. And if any of you ravers are aspiring artists or graphic designers, why not send in your poster designs for Cannonball Run 3, where Burt Reynolds milks the orangutan. That'd be good. We'll put them on Twitter. And next week I will be back with another request. Something very different next week, because I'm going to be reviewing a documentary. Yeah, as I take a look at This Is Spinal Tap. So I will see you lot next week. Okeydoo!